super glad that this froze. His image is frozen. I have no idea what's going on. And he will only see this bit right here when I send him the video and he's editing. So I have no idea what we are going to do. We will be back. So we haven't recorded for 1 week. Last week we didn't record, and this week everything is. How are you? We haven't talked for a week.
Well, I'm okay. I was better an hour ago.
Do you want to give some context to that sentence?
Well, apparently, because we didn't record last week, the Cosmos decided that we should record this episode twice.
And why is that?
Because my computer decided to crash in the middle of recording the episode.
Yeah.
And it is gone.
Remembering 1 hour ago, when we first started recording, I forgot to check if my mic was working, but it was.
Oh, right.
And then you noticed that your mic something was.
Oh, that the gain was like on maximum.
Yeah, so everything is going fine.
Yeah.
So topics. Virtual photography. It's something that you can't do from your consoles. Oh, no, better yet, you can do from your consoles. You just can't share it.
You can't share it anymore. I mean, you can, just not directly. So this is because I think you came up with something smoother and slicker before, but
yeah, and I was so glad. I kid you not, I was so glad with the way that I put that. No, it's gone. Mine isn't. Mine isn't. I was checking it out.
Doesn't matter. There's nothing for it to sync to, so if you want to just talk to yourself for a while, then that's fine.
For 16 minutes, it's just going to be me.
See, it wasn't that long. But yeah, it feels like we've been here ages. Yeah, the ability to share straight to X/Twitter is no longer available on either Xbox or PlayStation. Don't know
Can you do it from the Switch?
I'm just going to say the same. I don't know if it's ever a thing on the Switch or not. I don't know. I have to go and check. But that's no longer a thing. But I didn't use it anyway, so it doesn't affect me. Do you use it?
I used to use it at the beginning to share some photos, not a lot, but especially for videos, like how to get a black background on this, on that, or something like that. Because you can even edit the videos, like the length of the videos.
Yeah, you can
on the console. So that was pretty cool. I don't know. It doesn't affect me, but I bet it affects a lot of people.
I don't know. I don't think it's the best way to have shared your shots anyway.
Yeah.
So USB is my preferred route.
There is one virtual photographer. I forget. I've forgotten about the name, but he only does vertical shots because he only uploads directly from the console.
Horizontal, you mean?
Horizontal shots.
Okay.
Because
that doesn't make sense. Yeah, because you can't rotate them.
Yeah.
I mean, that and a simple crop is reasons alone just to actually copy them off. But it did lead to quite an amusing interaction with Opera. I thought it was quite an old web browser now. I didn't really realise.
I thought it went extinct until this week.
They made a name for themselves now, haven't they? So they posted something. I don't know what it was in response to this that PlayStation.
To the news, yeah.
Yeah, and someone had said, "Oh no, how will I share my virtual photography now?" And they did some derogatory reply of virtual photography, and Now you thought it was a laughing face. I thought it was the crying stream
I
of
thought it
tears
was.
thing.
The tweet is now deleted, so there is no way to confirm it. Maybe if we Google it, but we don't know. But I thought it was like the laughing emoji with the tears.
Yeah.
I might have seen that wrong, but okay. But that got quite the response from the virtual photography community when people started or quote retweeting that tweet with 4 pictures and with pitchforks and torches at hand. How
they do.
dare you! How dare you!
Don't you say anything against my beloved hobby.
How dare
No,
you call it a hobby? Why are you calling it a hobby? It's the blood that flows through my veins is virtual photography.
Yeah, I just had that interesting call today that I told you about with the with someone who's got his own Wikipedia page, and yeah, I've got a little gig lined up to do some writing about in-game photography.
Okay,
Quite pleased by that.
okay, you just glitched, and I got so scared right now.
Oh, that it stopped again. We're still going. Carry on. Keep rolling. Anyway, yes.
So,
People want to defend it, and it's absolutely fair enough. Because Opera were trying to be a bit sort of derogatory, like, oh,
I think it was a joke. It was
Probably.
meant as a joke. It was meant as something to get some Twitter traction, and they got it.
They definitely did.
Yeah, because minutes after, they did a second reply tweet to that tweet, sharing a screenshot of Red Dead Redemption, not a very good one at that, and saying, "Oh my God, I stand corrected,"
Yeah.
and everyone was like, "No, now you can't change your opinion."
I saw that. They refused the apology. It's too late now. You know.
You
I mean,
already.
it's fair enough. You want to stand up for the art form and not let it be undermined. I do think the whole pitchfork thing is a bit too far. But yeah, no, it was actually quite good, quite positive to see such a wide and enthusiastic response.
It's been a while. It's been a while since
all that
something like this happened,
drama.
and I like to see it from the. I have this sentence where I say I like to see the house burning. I just don't want anything to fall on top of me. I think there is better ways. Like I saw quite a few of. Oh, you should check this out, and just like my 4 pictures, and that's it. I like those, like trying to educate someone on the value of virtual photography rather than, oh, you clearly are ignorant about this topic. You should do your research. Look at these 4 awesome pictures.
Yeah, well, I mean, what other way is there?
They deleted it, so people did manage to get the message across, though.
It like I said before, it definitely had an impact. In both ways. You know, the Opera comment had an impact on virtual photographers and their response likewise.
Yeah, but other than that, nothing happened, right?
Are you comforting yourself with the question there? Please don't crash again.
Yeah, don't crash.
No, we skipped a week, and actually there's quite a lot happening, and it was almost the point where I thought
maybe we should do it.
We should probably do something, but I'm glad that we didn't, because it ended up a little bit more of a retrospect on it.
Yeah,
we can see a picture clearer. So there's been 3 games released recently. In fact, there's been 4 games released recently, but one of them is exempt from this because it does have a different photo mode. The other 3, which is the
how
Invincible.
dare they do a different way? Wait, what? Is it not that?
Aren't they all different?
Yeah.
No. How would you feel if you saw 3 games even, with the exact same photo mode?
I would be glad.
You will.
Because I didn't. I every time that I start a new game with a photo mode, I have to learn that photo mode. Now,
that there's a bit of fun element to that. I like seeing what has this one got.
Yeah.
But as a usability factor, it is annoying.
Yeah. like
So you would
when I change phones, I
Yeah.
usually go for the same brand
Yeah.
because I know how they work.
Yeah.
No, I don't care if the other brand now has better something. I just care that I've used the same brand as forever because I know exactly where things are.
Um. Yeah. uh, I know a lot of people that would say the same sort of thing. I saw some discussion on this as to that. Oh, we've seen that these photo modes have got the same UI, the same tabs, even the same icons. And I mean, there's only so many pictures for an aperture. There's only so many ways you can depict brightness.
Yeah,
So
and on your TV, your controller, if you have an LG, the source button is the same as mine, and I have a Samsung.
yeah,
Like icons are there is a reason why the off and on button is the power button is the same, is
yeah,
so that people can just pick it up and understand it.
it's established
Yeah.
exactly. Even in the menus, if you put up the picture settings, the icon for brightness will be a little sun. The icon for contrast is a black and white half circle. Things like that.
Yeah.
So I don't have any real problem with it. If it's a total rip-off, then fine. But that isn't the case here. There's definitely a lot
But
more
wait,
to this.
what are the three games that
Yeah, I
were
was just
listed?
gonna say.
You have been on and
Everybody
on
already
about
knows.
this.
Everybody already knows. No, they don't. No, the games that have released was Lords of the Fallen, which came out 2 or 3 weeks ago. And that has some really cool features actually. That the 3D photo
Yeah.
implementation that they've done. Basically, it lets you, if you've not seen it, enter the photo mod and save the scene in as a save file, I guess, and then re-enter it later on. So you can come out of the game from the menu, just go back to that saved scene, and you can move around again. You've got the whole 3D
Wait,
area.
you can basically go back to. So imagine that I took a photo and there is something in front of me that I didn't realize. I can just go back
could
and
move
move the
again.
camera around and take
Yeah.
the photo again.
It's a fantastic feature. The closest thing to it is OnRush, which let you, with the touchpad, let you save a 30-second clip of the game, and you could move around freely in that as well. But this is basically just preserving the rendered area, and you can go back to it. You can't play the game again,
Yeah.
but you've got that whole rendered area. You can move around. It's preserved as a scene. It's
As the
fantastic.
character, you can move the character there. No,
No, you can't.
Okay.
You can move the camera. Yeah.
Okay. Oof, that's
great feature.
powerful.
But that's unique to Lords of the Fallen. The rest of the photo mode is the same and in parts identical, in fact, in Deliver Us Mars, which got an update
I played it.
on
Yeah.
the 3rd, and the Talos Principle, which came out on the same day, I think.
I played it as well. And yeah, they are really similar. Yeah.
Well, they're similar, but you'd expect some similar things. You'd expect photo modes to have camera movement, to have
Yeah.
field of view, to have focus and depth of field.
You
That's
hear that,
fine.
Capcom? You hear that? Is someone from Capcom listening? You expect camera movement. Sorry.
Yeah. Oh, this is where my computer fans have just ramped up. It's fine. We're
Please
still
don't
going.
crash again.
Don't crash again. If it crashes again, then that's it. We're done. The episode is. There's no episode this week.
Again.
But yeah, these photo mods have got some kind of obscure features that you wouldn't expect to see
Okay.
normally, and they've all got them. So it was the UI is really similar, but a lot of photo mods use this tabbed.
Yeah,
down in the corner,
I noticed.
tabbed UI.
I noticed that they use the same. I have the notes. I have it in the notes. I read the notes.
Notes.
Yeah, they have the exact same options for color grading and the same depth of field options. at
Yeah.
least Deliverance from Mars and Talos. I didn't play Lords of the Fallen, but at least those two have the exact same control over that. And the depth of field options, it's really because it has an autofocus and focus
Yeah.
in the middle.
On
You
a dot,
notice
a
a
tiny
dot,
dot. Yeah.
and you notice that it doesn't notice, it doesn't
Recognize. Like,
recognize the character,
no.
which is strange.
It is
It's
strange, and they all. I've not seen if the Lords of the Fallen one does it, but Delivers Mars and Talos Principle have the same bug, if you will. That
Yeah.
autofocus dot. It works fine on the background and the surrounding geometry, but if you go across the character, it just goes straight through them. So, not very useful.
And when you hide the HUD, the dot stays.
The dot stays. Yeah. The only good thing on it, by the way, at least in Talos Principle, it gives a distance measurement underneath it,
The
so you
one
can
on
literally
Mars.
like use that and then manually set it.
Yeah.
But that tab is identical in all these three. So you've got that autofocus, which doesn't work. You've got manual distance, aperture, and then the really weird one is this sensor width.
Yeah.
And I can't imagine anybody knowing why that's there.
I only discovered what that is after watching your video on the hands-on on Talos Principle.
Okay.
Before
Right.
that, I was like, what is
Yeah.
this?
It's basically the reason why they've done it is if you've got different size sensors on cameras, they change how much. Like, you imagine that as the window. If you've got a lens that's focusing an image onto a plate, if you change the size of the sensor, you see a different amount of the picture. They don't change the depth of field at all, but what they're doing in the game is changing the depth of field, and that's only because it's an indirect effect. If you have a small sensor, it sees a small image, a small portion of the image, and if you change the field of view to make it match what a bigger sensor sees, that changes the depth of field. So it's an indirect effect that you would do with the optics to make the image appear the same on a different size sensor. It's a very bizarre thing to include in a photo mode, because you would never have a camera and change the sensor size. You can't. It's part of the hardware. But they're trying to replicate the use of different camera systems, I think.
The good thing about they using the same photo mode, and we will explain why they use the same photo
Yeah, don't
mode.
turn off. Don't like. We will get to the point. There is.
Yeah. But the good thing about them using the same photo mode is that they get all of the good, like the same icons, the same. So anyone that plays one game will understand how to photograph the others. The bad thing is that the bugs, the bad features, they are all there.
Yeah, the autofocus one is a perfect example. It's obviously not been implemented very well across any of them. But I mean, more to the point, the fact that so this is evidently some sort of photo mode module. It's not a matter of these three studios copying one another, because one, how could they have done? The three things have come out.
Can you imagine the people developing Lords of the Fallen? We have to release first. They will accuse us of copying the photo mode.
I mean, how could they have done? Even if they'd have somehow accessed it early to then, oh yes, we must implement exactly that. You can't have done it post-release because they're 3 weeks apart. It's just not possible. So the obvious solution, the obvious answer to this is that this is some sort of common photo mode that's available in that engine. Now, they're all using Unreal Engine. Coincidence? No, obviously not.
Coincidence? I think not.
So it first made me think, right, so there must be some sort of Unreal default photo mode now. We always see that the camera tools being implemented on Unreal Engine games, and they do that really quickly because the games run on the same engine, they run on the same principles, the people know how to make those camera tools work on the new Unreal games. So there's no reason why you couldn't have an engine, a photo mode that's part of the engine, like you mentioned before on the other record.
He's going to steal my
Go on then, you
say
say it again.
No, go ahead.
What do you know about you? What do you know about Unity?
Okay. So, for those of you that don't know, if you start developing a game right now on Unity, you can just implement a photo mode that they have available for every photo mode, for every game. So basically, Unity offers you the tools to implement a photo mode from there, and that photo mode is the same across all Unity games that use that photo mode. What you thought was, maybe Unreal has the same sort of thing. One thing about Unity is they have been offering this for a while. I said 2020, but I think it's
At least,
it might be longer than that.
I don't know. I've probably got it written down somewhere, but I don't actually know.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's been around for quite a while. And that sort of pre-built photo mode module, the whole reason why these common engines exist is to help, especially small developers, to help them make games. Because you can't expect, if every indie developer had to first of all make their own physics engine, make their own renderer, make their own animations, make their own lighting, you'd see fewer games. It's as simple as that, because the resources would go into that. They'd run out of money. They can't actually make the gameplay. They can't do the creative side of it. So these engines let the games happen. So having a photo mode that they can kind of implement pre-built is a good thing, because it means you're going to see more photo modes.
Yeah.
It's
On
simple.
smaller titles, and there are people that only play smaller titles.
Yeah.
And this might be a controversial opinion, but I think the art direction, I think it's called that, is slightly more creative on smaller titles. Like like Deliver Us From Mars. It's a game that graphically looks like shit. Like that game is like Play-Doh.
Ruben's opinions are his own.
No, it like my PC is not that good, and everything is running on Epic by default. Like it's not that great looking. It looks a bit like Play-Doh, but the art style, the minimalistic way they implement that is really cool, and the photos that you can extract from that game is really good. Something that you wouldn't see in other games because you are so used to the ultra realistic graphics, the things like that. You know what I mean? It's good that smaller titles are getting their hands on having a photo mode, even if it's a default one. It's really good.
I've no problem with there being a default photo mode. It's something I actually wanted to see. We've had NVIDIA Ansel before, but it's not inbuilt. It's an add-on. It's an external software, and it required support to be enabled for it. It's kind of going away now. A lot of games never really supported it anyway. I was hoping that when the PS5 launched, because they changed from the create button, what's going to be big about this? And I thought, wow, it'd be cool if they just enabled some system level free camera, where developers could choose to implement it and just give you there was nothing. But it would have been good, You could still add onto it, but to give that baseline functionality would have been a good thing. So Unreal Engine doesn't, as far as I know, doesn't have its own native photo mode, but it does have the Unreal Marketplace. And if you head to that and search for photo mode, there's at least 10 photo mode add-ons that crop up.
That's good.
So it is good number. And there may be others. If you search for photography or different phrases, you might
camera
find more.
tools.
Exactly. Yeah.
Screenshots.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So who knows? But there's I find at least 10 with just a quick search. One of them is called Advanced Photo Mode by I think he's called Ali ZL. And that evidently is the one that's been used in these three games, in Lords of the Fallen, in Deliverers from Mars, and in the Talos Principle. It's exactly the same.
Yeah.
It's the same UI. It's the same tabs. It's got the same sensor width, the color grading with saturation, contrast, and gamma, all with red, green, and blue. You know, it's these obscure settings that give it away.
Yeah, but first of all, I only discovered this because I read your article. Link in the bio. Go read it for more information about it. And then when I got to this part, I thought it's good. Now studios only have to build on top of it because they clearly can. Like the Talos Principle. I didn't play Lords of the Fallen again. But they can do the 3D rendering, which is great. The Talos Principle has 98 poses.
I would say too many, yeah. But well, what it's got good is a very comprehensive character tab, you know, and it's got poses.
And no, the other two don't have that.
No, so, I think they've got rotate character on the spot, or like on I think Lords of the Fallen's got rotate character, and Deliverers Mars might just have flip to camera, something like that.
But see, those features were added to the photo mode, which is like, okay, now you have the baseline, and the price isn't that much. It's like £14 or something.
It's like £14.50 £14.99 in dollars. I'm assuming that gives you commercial license to implement it, because that there's only one way to pay it. If anyone's thinking that just sounds like a cheap way out, then I disagree, because I would rather that a studio goes, okay, we're not going to have the time and the resources to build a photo mode from scratch, but we will spend a small amount and then spend a little bit of time, not as much, to implement it in our game, because we want you to have access to a photo mode in our game. That's a good thing. You know, there's no negative to that, to be honest. The only negative would be if they got complacent and never tried to develop their own features.
Add something else, yeah. But the thing is, the three examples do add something else.
They do, yeah. What I don't know about, I'm not saying it doesn't, but I don't know what's unique in Deliverers Mars.
The logo, at least.
Okay.
Okay, at the very least, you can place the logo at any point of the image. You can rotate the logo. And there are three different logos. Like you have the Deliverers from Mars logo, you have the team logo, and then you have the mascot, the penguin, the little penguin. Right, yeah. You can add a penguin sticker to any photo you take in Deliverers from Mars. Deliverers Mars.
I think they've all got the logo capability, but they've got different logos, obviously. Even the filters in the rendering modes are another giveaway, the same ones, and the rendering modes are really peculiar. Like there's normal pixel 3 pixelation ones, and then that heat wave, like a heat distortion thing. You never see it, and all of a sudden it's in 3 games in 3 weeks. So we know the game. It's all from this module.
I really like to think that the Lords of the Fallen guys were like, oh fuck, we have to release it today. We can't be the last ones to use the photo. And the thing is, these 3 games are the 3 commercially successful games from this past 3 weeks. For all we know, this photo mode has been implemented countless times. It's
got 75 reviews.
See?
So where are they all? Yeah, it must be out there in others. And almost certainly, given that you can reskin it, you can change the options. You know, someone else might have put it on and thought, well, I don't want center width, and I don't like that color grading. So you take out those real telltale, and those rendering modes are weird.
Yeah.
Get rid of those, and then it becomes where you might have not noticed because they're kind of the general baseline features that you just expect. So yeah, it's fine. But
you did look at the game, at the video presentation of that photo
from
mode.
advanced photo mode,
Yeah.
I did. Yeah.
Did you see anything in first person?
It says in the info that it supports first or third person.
Okay. Because
So I
that
don't
was
think
you can play it both
Yeah, you
ways.
can. Yeah, you can.
Because Immortals of Avian came out earlier this year, and everyone was asking for a photo mode, and they never got a photo mode. So
Is it on Unreal?
yeah, it
There
is.
you go.
Yeah, please someone send this video to the Immortals team. The ones that
$15.
didn't got fired after the release of that game.
Oh dear.
Yeah, I even think the studio closed. I'm not sure.
Well, that makes a photo mode update less likely.
Yeah.
Interestingly, in the video, in the actual demonstration video from Elysiel, his autofocus does work on the character.
So it's a matter of
It's in implementation.
The implementation. I would like for him to do a reel with games that use the photo mode.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, that's the best way to get more clients, if you will, as
Yeah.
well, isn't it? Like, look how well it worked in this and this and this. An interesting point, right? Talos Principle has the photo mode on PC, not on console yet. It is coming in a week or two. What about the others? Are they on?
I know the one from Lords of the Fallen is on console.
It's on both. Yeah.
Deliver Us, I think it got on PC first. I'm not entirely sure.
I don't know the answer to that. No.
Yeah,
But,
I'm not entirely sure.
it evidently suggests that it's a little bit easier to implement it in the PC version of the game. Not sure why.
Because Unreal is easier for PC because PC is superior.
But the console architecture is basically PC based now anyway.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I don't know. It'd be interesting when, say, Talos Principle console update does arrive, if it's exactly the same. Because one of the features on it, and again, this is something that's facilitated by that add-on, is that you can choose different resolution captures.
Yeah.
So you can capture it at the default resolution with or without the UI. You can set it to 720 to 1080 or to 4K. I don't expect the console version to have that. Like
the PS5 at least automatically renders to 4K your screenshot.
So does the PS4 Pro. Yeah, they always do. No matter what you're displaying at. If you run it at 720, the capture is 384 by 2160. So I think that feature will disappear. I would like to go further than that and
8K.
Exactly, yeah.
When I outsample on PC using the tools, I always outsample to 6K and then do a small cropping because I use 21:9.
Okay, yeah. But the consoles don't do it, and I want them to. And it can be done because Gran Turismo, this is another thing that's happened in the last week. Gran Turismo got its shutter speed update, which enables longer shutter speeds in race photos now, and you can do light trails better. It's a fantastic update, but they also added, you can't upscale the resolution, but they added 3 quality settings for standard, fine, and extra fine, I think they're called. And that affects how many frames it actually renders for the motion. So great.
That's
and
good.
It tells you that if you do this, like, it estimates how long that shot's going to take. It says because of shutter speed and render mode, this will take 60 to 120 seconds. Are you sure? Yes, it's fine. I'm happy to wait for a better quality image. And I will be
That's
just
really
as...
good.
It is really good, yeah. I would be equally happy to wait if it said, this will take 2 minutes because you're wanting to render at 8K. That's okay. I'll do it. Let me do a quick one to check, like a proof, but then the final one, render it as high as you want. I want every setting on max, and I want the resolution to be greater than a TV. Why not?
That's the dream of the create button.
It... Yeah, well, which has had no updates since launch.
And
the create menu.
It won't
It's
have.
not going to.
Yeah.
No. Oh, did you see, talking about things that were removed, Xbox...
Jim Ryan? Oh, okay.
No, thankfully he's removed. Money, man. Xbox's share button is no longer a share button. It doesn't have the logo on anymore on the new controllers, and you can reassign it to a number of other features. So that's them not exactly doubling down.
I'm worried about that.
Yeah.
That worries me, yeah. The fact that we have no updates on the create button. But that's a topic for another day.
It is a topic for another day. We'll relate it to this in that it's the kind of counter balance to these common photo modes, bringing more camera tools, whereas the hardware manufacturers are giving us fewer functional tools.
That's a good way to end the episode.
Quick,
No. Before we go, leave us a comment. Like, subscribe to all of that. But leave us a comment with future Unreal 5 games that you would like to see a photo mode implemented on with.
A photo mode unplugged. Pretty sure it is.
Future photo modes implemented to games on Unreal 5. Give us your, what you want to see.
Yeah.
Yeah. Bye.